So behind each one of these pixels is actually a 3D coordinate, and we use VirtueServe to connect to outside programs. And one of those programs is Revit, which is represented by this R, and it opens up a side panel which allows us to send construction points, line work. We can set levels and create walls, windows, doors, all kinds of things. So you'll see me jump back and forth between programs. All right, let's get started. All right, we're going to insert a point cloud here in Revit just by going over the Insert tab and choosing point cloud of our choice, which is RCP file. And if we go over to the 3D view, we can see the scan data here nicely and turn on our section box. So that'll allow us to isolate data and be able to look inside the house. That looks good. So now for our next step, I'm just going to set up some levels for us to design so that when we start doing our walls, that our levels are set at the correct height, and our walls will then also restrict to those level heights. So here we took a section through the data just so we could see a little more clearly, and now I'm showing that we can actually create sections from this VirtueServe view. It's a high-res view which connects directly to Revit. So just by clicking a single point on the floor and ceiling, you can see that it sends over a level. But we can also just add levels directly in Revit by selecting on the point cloud here from the section view. So once you set your floor and ceilings, you can get rid of the unnecessary levels that were already in there from the template, and we're ready to start doing wall extraction. And really at this point we're ready to start some wall fitting, but to make things a little easier, maybe we can adjust our view range in Revit and kind of isolate down the data that we want to see. Also, to increase the speed of our wall fitting, we're going to do what's called prepare point cloud, and that sort of runs through the entire point cloud all at the beginning to make our wall extraction process much faster, our pattern recognition of wall types much faster. So here I'm just going to adjust so we can see the wall thicknesses a little bit better, and then I'm going to start this prepare point cloud. Alright, so again, this is going to read through the point cloud, and it's going to help us more quickly identify walls when we start the wall fitting. So you can see it's reading through, and I'll just fast forward through this piece so you can see the result. And this process just takes a few minutes. That's why we narrowed it down first with the bounding box in Revit, so it takes less time. And we can see the nice line work, and we'll go ahead and insert this view into our project. So it's going to create a new view called Floor 2 Prepared, which looks like it brings out the line work itself, and we can really see the wall thicknesses and start the wall fitting command. So wall fitting is pretty simple. You just click between the wall thicknesses, and it's going to look at all the Revit wall types you have in your project and find the closest matching. So it'll detect a specific thickness and then recommend an order what the most likely fit is. Now, if you don't agree with the fit, or if it's a little bit off and you want to create a brand new wall type, you can actually choose to create a new Revit family wall type based on the actual thickness it detects. So choosing that bottom option there will create a brand new wall rather than using only the walls that you have started with in the project. So this is a process. Step one is laying out all your wall work. So you can fit walls from that prepared view. You can also fit walls from the floor plan view. The wall fitting is fast in either method. This is using VirtueServe instead. So rather than using the point cloud to fit the walls, if we know the wall type, or if we want to assume the wall type, we can simply click in the image view and it will extract walls for us and send those walls to Revit. So I've chosen for it to insert 4 7/8 inch partition walls, and I just click 2 points on each wall face, and it's going to insert the walls for me in Revit. You can then modify your walls to connect them and do your normal Revit routines here if you want. So I'll go ahead and modify these corners, and you can see the result. Those walls inserted. Alright, so I'm going to open up this same view that I'm looking at inside of VirtueServe and insert a door here. And inserting doors, windows, really simple. You can do it from the raw data view, which I'll show next. But inserting a door, I'm just going to choose a door type, and I'm actually going to create a new Revit family type based on my 2 points that I click. I just click 2 points in opposite angles, and it will send that information to Revit, and it's going to generate a new Revit family door type for me and place it in my model. Creating stairs and irregular objects, you have the option to just lay out modeling lines. In this case, we're going to lay out horizontal modeling lines for the boundary of the stairs and for the risers. And to do that, it's really simple. I find it much easier to click in the high-res image view in VirtuServe to send our line work over to Revit. So first I'm just kind of placing some boundary lines here, and then I'll start placing individual segments for our risers. And I'll sort of fast forward once I get going through here, see it sort of fade to the end. So now I'm clicking up the stairs, 2 points on each step face, and you can sort of see in the background, you'll see when I switch over that the line work is there. So here's our line work, and at this point we just need to trim it up a little bit to get it prepared. So I'll turn off these walls so I can see a little bit better. And those are the horizontal lines that I sent over, and now I can just trim them up to the stairs command, and we're going to do a stair by sketch. And really we just choose the boundary lines first, click those, and then we go through and click the risers. And when we're finished, we're just going to click the check mark and make sure that our stairs are the correct direction. So I'm going to flip the direction of the steps here, and now we switch to a 3D view, and you can see the result of our staircase that we built, all from just laying out some simple lines from VirtuServe to Revit.